Marla Mervis-Hartmann here. Today we're going to talk about what you can do instead of binge eating, restricting, dieting, and body shaming. There are a lot of you out there who are struggling with these issues but don't know what to do instead of dieting, right? When you're feeling uncomfortable with your body, when you're feeling like you gained some weight, when you're feeling like you want to change your body and you don't want to diet, what are you going to do? Recently, in preparation for my program, Body Compassion Collective, which starts soon, I've been asking some women what their relationship is with their body. What happens when they body shame? What happens when they binge? And after reading a lot of feedback, beautiful, honest answers from these women, which was so touching to me, what I found is that in every situation, the solution that they had for feeling bad about themselves, the solution that they had for sugar craving or gaining some weight was always dieting. Makes sense, right? That's what we're supposed to do. We gain some weight, we diet. But maybe you know, like I do, that dieting doesn't work. Over 90% of people who diet will gain their weight back. And maybe you know, maybe your body knows that dieting doesn't work for you. But what else do you do? We don't really talk about it. There's often, it's either like, okay, I gained weight, I'm just supposed to deal with it. But that doesn't completely work because we want to listen to our bodies. We want to acknowledge that our bodies feel uncomfortable or upset that it's gained some weight. And if we're feeling this way and we just say, well, you can't diet, so there's nothing you can do, then we're missing out on an opportunity to listen and take care of ourselves on a deeper level. So in my journey, and in my journey of my life in recovery, I've had moments where I've gained weight. I have moments where I've lost weight. My body will kind of do this thing, and sometimes it doesn't bother me at all. And then sometimes I'll have that voice that used to be always around, concerned and worried and can't believe I gained weight and what are we gonna do and what are we gonna do? And then this other voice, this voice of wisdom, which is louder now, says, well, what are you gonna do, Marla? You gonna diet? It's like, no, of course I'm not gonna diet. I don't do that. But what can I do? And I have shared with you about listening to your body. So we want to listen to our body when it feels uncomfortable. We want to give our body better choices than just dieting and restricting. So I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do instead of binging and restricting and dieting and body shaming. One of those is to have compassion. Compassion for yourself. So let me explain to you what I mean by this. If you overeat, if you binge eat, and I have a video about this, which is the number 1 thing that you can do to prevent binge eating, title something like that. And the answer is you can have compassion. You see, when we overeat or we binge, if we begin to beat ourselves up, what ends up happening is we put ourselves back on that cycle of restricting, willpower, and then once again, binging or overeating, overindulging, which isn't a bad thing to overindulge. So recently I went to a birthday party and I came home and I'm lying in bed and I have this big belly full of food. And I'm lying there and it was uncomfortable because I ate too much. But in the past, I would have beat myself up. I would have come up with a plan. I would have come up with a plan of what I was going to do the next day. Okay, in the morning, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to exercise longer. I'm going to wait until this time and eat, and this is what I'm going to eat. And I would be angry at myself and putting myself down, and how could I eat like that? And that was embarrassing, and no one else ate like that. those were the things that I would say to myself. So I would shame myself and put myself down. So most of the times I actually would just overeat the next day and wouldn't actually be able to keep up my plan. But if I would, what would happen is by the end of the day, I would then overeat again because I was actually really hungry and I needed extra food. But instead, we can have compassion and we can stop that cycle right in its tracks. We can have compassion for ourselves and we can just be in acceptance that I ate a little bit more. I ate more that day. I ate more at the party. Ate more than I wanted to, and maybe I did overeat because I was nervous, and that happens. And go into more inquiry and thought around that rather than the restricting and the dieting and the shaming myself. So number 2 is to be with your food differently. So don't diet, just start having a different relationship with your food. And what I mean by that is maybe you can slow down with your food. Maybe instead of shoving food down your throat, you can slow down and you can sit and eat it and look at it and be with it. And you can start to have a different relationship with your food that isn't about dieting. It's changing a behavior with your food. Okay, I'm going to just do this a little bit differently. Whatever this is, right? So you may have something. I would recommend though, don't do something that feels like it's a stretch. Do something that's easy. So if it's, okay, I know I'm gonna overeat or I'm gonna indulge or I'm gonna binge, I'm gonna sit down while I'm doing it. Or I know that I always beat myself up and talk negative to myself. Today instead, I'm going to write it down and then I'm going to read it. Because sometimes when we do that, we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually would say that to myself, right? So doing things a little bit differently. Also looking at the difference between good food, bad food. That's a way to be with your food differently. When we label our food good and we label our food bad, then we're good, we're bad. So there may be better choices at certain times. Like it's a better choice for me not to have chocolate right before I go to bed. It's not bad food. It's just it's better for me not to have it so that I can sleep. See the difference? Okay, and then number 3 is to get some support. When you're on this edge and you're wanting to shift yourself from the diet to having more compassion for yourself, it's good to have someone to help you. It's good to get that support. So if it is, honestly, you don't know how to nourish yourself in a way that you know that your body really wants. If you are actually struggling with finding food that is healthy, that you know that your body wants, or you know that something's going on health-wise, then get some support around it. Reach out to someone, not because you want to lose weight, because that solution won't stick, but because you actually want to learn it for yourself and because you want to do it from a place of love and compassion and self-care. Super important. And if you're on that shift where you don't want to beat yourself, you don't want to diet, you don't want to go into that mental beating yourself up, then please reach out to me. That's what I do. I support women to feel good about themselves and stop beating themselves up. To learn how to listen to your body in a more powerful way where you can actually begin to friend yourself, where you can have compassion for yourself. I mentioned it earlier. I have this program, Body Compassion Collective, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. It's going to be fantastic. It is a wonderful program to teach you how to have peace with your food and teach you how to have peace with your body. So I'm going to put the link below. Go ahead and check that out and reach out to me if you have any questions. And I would love to hear your feedback about this video. I would love for you to check out some of these tools and report back to me. And of course, please do like this video and subscribe to this channel. I'm sending you so much love.